It is Gilbert Perryman. Come forward. Court is calling 2024 CR 2999, State of Texas versus Gilbert Christopher Perryman. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Greg Desmarais.
And are you Mr. Perryman? Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I did, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the individual status proceeding on the state jail, also pursuant to 1244, Judge.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand that your charge is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Mr. Perryman, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. According to the plea, the state is proceeding under 1244. They're asking your punishment be assessed at 28 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $500 fine and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
For context.
State, any evidence?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulations of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and laboratory reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client obviously accepts the responsibility in this. He's on probation, misdemeanor probation right now, and doing well on that. And we just ask you to follow the plea bargain.
All right, in the misdemeanor case, what is that?
It was an assault. It was a reduction from.
All right, and that's related to this case, correct?
I believe they're 2 separate cases.
Okay. All right, the court will sentence you to a $500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. And the court will sentence you under 1244 to 28 days in the Bexar County Jail.
It's my understanding that he's done the 28 days, Your Honor.
All right, the court will give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you have a drug problem, you need to solve that problem, because otherwise what's going to end up happening is you're going to have another case and you're going to be right back before a felony judge. And at that time, you may not receive a judgment satisfied. You may be a prison sentence. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am. I filed.
All right, what are their ages?
10, 12, 16, and 20.
So people always say, if you're going to be clean and sober, you have to do it for yourself. Sometimes people are not at the point to do it for themselves. So if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your children, because they want to have a father that they're proud to say, that's my dad. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any issues where you're trying to get drug treatment, but you can't find a place or they won't take you in, you can come back to court. I'll be here and I'll help navigate you. All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert. I'll talk to you.
All right, thanks. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 4900, State of Texas versus Damian Trevino. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Salem.
Defense,
Okay for Mr. Trevino.
are you Mr. Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Trevino, did you sign the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Sure.
Counsel, and give to counsel. Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with burglary of a building with intent to commit theft? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes,
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
no, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication, and they're asking for a felony drug court evaluation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Excuse me, Judge. I believe paperwork says no contest.
All right, you want to speak to your client about the difference between a no contest plea and a guilty plea?
If she really is sure.
All right, how do you wish to plead?
No content.
State, any evidence?
Believe it is attached, Your Honor, as exhibit 1.
All right, any objections?
No objection, Judge.
All right, state you're excused. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
My client wishes, I ask that you follow the agreement.
All right, why are you breaking into buildings and taking cigarettes and scratch offs?
I think drug related. I was having a drug problem. I was homeless. And
All right, so being homeless does not give you a pass to break into locations and steal scratch offs and steal cigarettes.
yes, Your Honor.
And just so you know, when you steal scratch offs, you know what ends up happening? You still won't be able to get the money because all of those scratch offs at every locations, they're numbered. And all the person has to do is say, these numbers are missing. It's similar to people when they want to sell airline tickets. Those are all numbered. So what would have end up happening if you would have got a scratch off and won $1 million, you would have went to go, try to get your $1 million and you would have been arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So where are you living now?
With my mother. Well, I'm at lifetime recovery right now.
All right, how long have you been there?
53 days.
Okay. And what was your drug of choice?
Meth and marijuana.
And who was the person who was with you?
I don't know that person.
Oh, so y'all just randomly,
Well, he opened the doors and I was watching him go in and out, so I went in.
I'm sorry, what?
He had opened the doors, and then I just followed him. Well, after I seen him come in and out, I went in and practically picked up after.
Okay, I still don't understand what you're saying. So are you saying that somebody else was already in the location, burglarizing the location, and they opened the door for you and just was like, hey, I'm here, you're here, come on in?
No, like he just opened it up, and I was really
Really what?
out of state. Like I was really high, and I didn't know what I was thinking.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results gonna be?
Negative.
All right. Probation, can I get a drug test today from Mr. Trevino? All right. Are you able to provide a sample right now? You don't need to take a water break or anything? All right, so he's gonna provide a sample. It'll take them 5 minutes, then I'll do the sentencing. But Sean, do you have the results on Damian Trevino? Okay, awesome. Yay. I'm happy for you on that. Keep up with that, okay? All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 4900, State versus Damian Trevino. So probation is telling me that your UA was negative. That's a good thing. Make sure that you stay vigilant. You understand? Because it's easy to backslide.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State, on Damian Trevino, is there any restitution to the building? Was it, for the lottery tickets, which I guess they have to reprint or destroy, and the cigarettes?
As far as we are aware, no, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, do you have any children?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are their ages?
He's 9 years old.
I'm sorry?
9.
All right, and who is your child with?
The mother right now.
All right. Court is going to sentence you to a $500 fine that will be probated. 4 years deferred adjudication. We're going to do a felony drug court evaluation. And let me just tell you, do not tell felony drug court that you don't have a drug problem, because obviously you do. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to order lifetime recovery. You are not allowed to leave lifetime recovery, and leave the program unless I give you permission to leave the program. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 90 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There is to be 120 hours of community service restitution. How do you spend your days?
Walking.
Okay. Did you graduate?
I got my high school diploma online.
All right. So I'm going to order 120 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived if you obtain a trade school certificate, or you try to do something to better yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and improve your employment chances.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm also going to order parenting classes. Regular random UAs. Field visits. 1 time per month. For 4 months. At Lifetime Recovery, do they have you doing sober meetings?
I had an interview yesterday for a sober living home, and I got another one next Sunday.
All right, we're going to do 60 sober meetings in 60 days. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Oh, thanks, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. To be successful in probation in this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If you feel as though your probation officer is not addressing it, you can always come back to the court and we'll see what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor.
All
Thank you.
right. And if you feel like you think you're going to use, that's when you call your sponsor. That's when you call your probation officer. And if you can't get in touch with anybody, we're here throughout the week, but not on weekends or holidays. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
Yes, thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Judge.
Thank you, counsel. Thanks for your patience.